All right, here we go. See how well this all works here. Trying a new setup today. Decided to give OBS a try. I've been using just the standard. I guess I don't know about standard is the right term, but the like made by Twitch for Twitch recording streaming deck here. But I decided maybe I'd give OBS a try, seeing all of the issues that were coming up with that I was having with the um, American Truck Simulator, trying to get that game going. I wondered if it might have been an issue with the capture the capture situation that I was using the Twitch Studio stuff instead of OBS. And I've been getting along with that because that was the first one I downloaded, because when I first started streaming, I didn't know what software to use, and so I started using that, and I've kind of learned that most people use other things, and so having issues, I thought, well, you know what, let's go ahead and try using this OBS system instead and see what that does for us. And so we're giving it a try. So I have no idea if it'll work right. I sure hope so. But I don't know. Hey, how's it going? Left Critical. Wow, I'm honored. I'm honored. Ditching Critical Role to come check me out. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's fresh. It's fresh less than 24 hours ago. I was in Lansing for work, and my friend from all the way back in, gosh, I was neighbors with her since like second grade. She's got her own like hair studio, and so yeah, I decided. So yeah, I stopped by and got my hair cut. So I'm feeling funky fresh today. That's for sure. That's for sure. Oh, nice. Doing campaign 1 on YouTube. Yeah, it's if you're doing campaign 1, if you're starting with that with Critical Role, you're gonna see the quality, like the film quality, go from a bunch of dorks sitting around a table to like actual production quality. It's really funny to watch the progression from where they started to where they are today. Like, it's a really interesting growth that they've kind of gone through. So hopefully, hopefully the audio mixing is okay and everything. I tried to just do some sample recording with this new setup here, and it seemed like it was okay, but I don't know. I have no idea how to tell. I mean, I could pull up another computer and get some really trippy stuff going on and like watch myself as I'm streaming, but that just seems a little too meta and conceited in a way to me. I don't know. Seems kind of weird, right? To just like watch yourself stream. I don't know. Maybe I would be a good thing. I could watch the VODs of myself and figure out how to improve, but I don't know. It feels weird. I just realized I am playing with fire here and accidentally had our real campaign opened up there with the notes there, as opposed to the one that we are working on streaming. Hopefully no groundbreaking secrets were read. Don't go back in the VOD and watch. Don't do it. That would be a naughty thing to do. Don't do it. I want to see. There's one thing I want to see if I can. There's one other thing that I just kind of want to see. Can I put this? Oh, it's just like a separate window. It's not gonna like let me include it in, so I'll just have to have that separate, I guess. Just wanted to see if it had like a. I don't know. Maybe there is a way for me to set it up so it's just like naturally there while I'm streaming. But I'm trying to get my stats and stuff up here so I can see exactly and make sure that like I'm not dropping frames and stuff. I wanted to make sure that's up there. So okay, well, we got it there, and it'll just float there to the side, I guess. I don't know. Whatever. I'll figure that out later. Should probably have figured that one out before I started streaming, but how it goes. Let me see here. Does it show? I don't see a timer that really shows how long I've been going. I'll figure it all out. Hey, Gandhian, how's it going? Writing our world. Just tell me to leave it on Spyman. No, I'm not gonna. I won't write it on. I won't write it on stream, cause we got a whole other project that we're working on. So and that was exactly the reason why I decided to do a whole different thing rather than the one that I am leading for you guys, cause I didn't want you guys to have to worry about accidentally spoiling the game for yourself. So. Alrighty, okay, so let's go ahead and actually like do some writing, I guess. It looks like everything is going smoothly. I don't know. It's like I say, it's hard for me to know exactly if everything is going like perfectly smoothly while I'm while I'm streaming, because I'm not sitting here watching my stream while I stream. That would just get so feedback loop in my brain, and it would trip me up so much. So, but yeah, we're using the new setup. Seems like it's working. People are here and responding in in real time, so I'm assuming I'm live and everything seems like it's balanced okay. No one's telling me that the music is way too loud or whatever, so I think I got it. I don't know, whatever. I suppose we'll just kind of get to it, and then people can tell me if everything is horrible. Hey, watch on your phone. So yeah, that's gonna be tough to see the writing. That's fair. That's gonna be tough. Seems to be working just fine. Okay, good. Good. Glad it's working. Yeah, no, we'll see if this we'll see if OBS works better for me. Cuz yeah, using the Twitch Studio is just causing all kinds of lag, particularly with, like, I noticed it most with American Truck Simulator while I was playing that one. Like, just loading up the menu caused all kinds of lag, and I think this one's going to be a bit better. I think this is a bit better. At least the recordings I did as a practice earlier worked okay, so I don't know, we'll go with it. We'll go with it. At any rate, what the heck were we working on last time? We were doing something. We're working on our dungeon. That's what we were doing. That's what we were doing. So, okay, how far did we get? What did we do? Where am I? What's happening? Hold on, I'll catch up. Don't worry. First key. That's what we're working on. All right, we're on room 6 here. Right. Right. Okay. All right. There. I'm oriented. I was disoriented, but now I'm oriented. And golly gee. Okay, so we're just filling up our rooms here. At this point in time, let me see something here. Oh man, I'll probably have to stand up and go get my dice in a minute. I bet you we're gonna get through all of this stuff today. Let's see here. So we're about halfway through this dungeon, or at least this floor of this dungeon, and we're kind of creating a situation where we've got a bunch of hidden keys around here that players will need to find to be able to activate the doors here, or else they can reach most of everything by going through the walls and everything. And that was kind of an intentional thing there. So it's like almost as a way to kind of trick players and mess with them, make them think like, oh yeah, no, we're having no problems traveling around to everywhere in this building, except that they need to get the keys, because not only do the keys open up the doors to all of these rooms, but all 3 keys are going to be necessary for coming in, going through this door rather, and making it through to the final part of this dungeon. So it's kind of a simple puzzle to figure out, where they just have to find all of the keys, but it is going to be necessary, and that's kind of how we're beefing this one up a little bit here. So let's see. So we had we've already figured out what's going to be in each room, so that's helpful. Room 6 is going to be trapped. Oh boy. Oh boy. I'm not sure my brain's ready to handle writing a full trap, but we're going to figure that one out. Room 6. Oh, okay, this is going to be trapped. Oops. So my immediate thought when I'm looking at this, and so this is why I kind of like to randomly assign the rooms, because a lot of times it's really easy when at least for me, when I'm writing these things, it's really easy for me to fall into just sort of the same patterns of using the same basic themes and ideas and setups and just making things feel kind of repetitive. It's really easy to kind of fall into that. And so I like to randomize what's in every room, unless there's something very specific that I have planned out for a specific reason. I like to set it up randomly, so that way it turns into sort of a creative writing challenge for me, and it kind of forces me to get more creative and come up with more random things to put into a dungeon. So that way it's not always like, oh, well, this one, the trap is going to be someone trapped at the door or whatever. It's like, okay, you got a trap that's happening in a wall space. How can we do that? How can we make that feel realistic while still also being like a fun, legitimate challenge for the players to have to face? So we find the city of gold, we take the gold, then row back to Spain. Best plan ever. Yeah, there you go. Not sure where that's coming from, but you're right. That's an anecdote right there. All right, let's see here. So if they're coming in here, my first thought is it'd be really easy for us to just like put a collapsing bit of wall here. That's kind of the easy one, but now that I'm thinking about it, what would be kind of fun and would sort of fit the way we've already started designing this, right? Because you can kind of see we've got a lot of spider webs and everything just as a design choice plastered all over these walls here. And so my next thought is to just put in an area here that is like full-blown Shelob's Lair level spider webs everywhere for players to get stuck in and have to try and cut their way through. Keys. Mentioning the keys reminded the quote from Eldorado. Oh, gotcha. That's where. Okay. All right. No. I follow the connection. It's one of those connections that's more obvious to the person thinking it than anyone else on the outside. No, I get it. That tracks. That's legit. I haven't seen that movie in a minute. Man, I should watch that one again sometime. It's a solid one. All right, let's see here. So if we're gonna do spider webs, I think that would actually be kind of a fun challenge. It's not like a trap in sort of the conventional sense of like, oh, you stepped on the sinking tile and the sleep darts shoot you, but like it's kind of that function, right? It's kind of that function where they might not notice it. We can have the trap just be like the ground is covered in spider webs to the point that their feet kind of get tripped up and they might fall and get themselves all wrapped up in the spider webs there. So that's kind of what my immediate thought is. But now the challenge with that is put myself in a position where I have to think about what the mechanics for that would be. Movies, what happens when the rogue and the bard have their own side adventure. Yeah, okay, yeah, I follow that. I get that. That's fair. Although I will say, I almost think that was a bit more competent. Map was part of a giant's castle or village, right? It's not part of a village or anything, but it is a giant constructed shrine. We can pull up our map here, right? So we've got our map right here. This is the tribe that's like the friendly people, that the friendly giants. The BFG situation over here, and then this is the not so friendly, the NSF BFGs, the not so friendly big friendly giants or whatever. I don't know. I'm pushing that one further than it's useful. But they go into here, and that's kind of the first part of the dungeon, so to speak, because like the dungeon is very loose here, where it's gonna be over the course of multiple locations here. So it's almost more of just like an instance, right? But they go in here, they do that, and then they travel up here to this shrine, which was created by giants in order to do prayer, rituals, sacrifices, all that kind of stuff to whatever weird gods giants would, pay honors and respects to. I don't know. They're not very bright, the giants in my world. Intentionally, they're not very bright. But so that's what we're working with. So it is like a giant structure, but it's not part of a city or a village per se. It's kind of off to the side. It's kind of off to the side doing its own thing. So let's see here. Okay, so line. Try to do like all the like ridiculous qualifiers I put at the beginning of my sentences when I'm thinking about something. Okay, so what about okay, maybe like throw 5 of them together. Great public speaking there. All right, trap. So trap room. Okay, so let's see here. Worship the tiny man named Jack. That's right. No, Jack is their Satan. He's the one who punishes them for their sins by stealing their magic crap. Let's see here. So lining the floor of this wall interior is a massive amount of old spider webs. I like the spider webs aspect of it too, because even though I'm not going to put a spider in there, it's definitely going to make any players that encounter it just absolutely pee their pants. Just absolutely pee their pants with the whole spidery potential there. Human-sized mouse trap. As giants have a large rodent problem with the trap. That I like the idea of that. The hard I actually really like the idea of that. That's really funny. That's really funny. That would be really amusing. And it's like really unfamiliar to them just because of how large it is. The only question I'm having is would they be smart enough? Would giants be smart enough to come up with that? Because that's like some spring-loaded shit right there. And the giants tend to be more of the like, hey, food come from animal, kill animal, and eat. Like that's their level of cleverness. But I do really like the giant mousetrap idea, mostly because it immediately makes me think of the game Mousetrap, and now I really want to make a dungeon that's literally just the board, the mousetrap board, and players have to find a way to survive that crap. That's immediately what I'm thinking. Guess he did come from below. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Jack is Jack comes from below. That's what I'm saying. He comes from below and he just ruins everything for them. Classic bucket on stick with bait underneath. Yeah. Ooh, a piece of candy. Ooh, a piece of candy. Oh boy. Alright, so lining the floor of this wall interior is a massive amount of old spider webs. Enough so... Let's say, actually, I want to describe this differently. I want to set this up differently, because I'm trying to be better about, like, delineating what is notes and then what is actual, like, narrative to read aloud here. So I'm going to, in our notes color here, because I started using this, like, red text here for notes. Spider web trap. So first things first, perception, DC 11. I kind of want it to just be like passive perception for the situation. So passive perception DC 11 to notice if players like the big mousetrap idea. It's a really good idea. It's a really good idea. The problem is I'm just full of myself enough that this world is a little too serious for something like that necessarily, unless like I'm intentionally doing like a spoof one-off or something like that, which I would 100% do. 100% do. But like this world is a much more Lord of the Rings-esque world as I'm building it. You know, there's certainly plenty of room for humor, but I don't know that there's quite enough room for a people-sized mousetrap in there. I think that pushes it. I think that pushes us a little too far towards the wacky. That would be a really good one-off one, though. I would really like that. Okay, so spiderweb trap, passive perception, DC 11 to notice. If players try to just walk through, strength save to pull free. Save to pull free. This is strength save DC 12. We're gonna make that a DC 12. I want that to be a little more difficult there. To pull free, can let's see here. We'll say I want to say they get a couple opportunities before they're like really stuck, right? Because they can like walk out of their shoes. Let's see here. First fail, they lose shoes. Second fail, lose socks. Third fail, fall and third fail, fall and fall and stuck to ground will need help up at that point. That's kind of what I'm feeling right there. It's kind of sticky substance on the ground by a sloppy giant, kind of like a giant spilled his Dr. Pepper all over the ground, and it's all sticky there. Plot twist of the trap is that it actually doesn't work as decoy for the for the covered pit trap. Yeah, you have like seven red herrings lying all around, and give them no opportunity to find the real trap because they're so distracted with all of the really crappy and obvious traps. I feel like that's I feel like you see that a lot in cartoons. Like they see the tripwire, and so they think they're all clever by jumping over the tripwire, and they jump straight over the pit that they then fall into. Classic. Alright, so let's see here. So I like those mechanics though, for doing the spider webs here. Gives them a couple chances to just try and get their way out, but every time they fail, they lose a bit of clothing. Run an old cartoon-inspired adventure one-shot. I guarantee you someone's made stuff like that. I guarantee you someone's made like an Animaniacs tabletop, at least a one-shot, if not a full-blown rule set, for just like Acme Land hijinks to happen. I guarantee it's out there. I mean, like, I know they've made superhero ones. There's a fan-made mod to 5e that's Pokemon, which, so help me God, if there's ever anyone in my life that is willing to DM a D&D Pokemon game, I will pay you, I will worship you, kiss your feet, make any food you want for the rest of your life, just so that I could play that and be a Pokemon master, just a couple times. Like, oh, you just a one shot. I will be eternally grateful. But yeah, I bet you someone's made. I bet someone's made a Looney Tunes one or something like that. Where can you find the Pokemon rule set? I don't remember where I found it. I know if you just go online and do like Pokemon 5e or something like that, it's there. I would Google it. Because I don't remember exactly where I found it. I just know that I have it, and it's amazing and incredible, and I love it. I've got it saved somewhere. Right? It would be so fun. That said, here's my thing though, and I'm fully prepared to get some flack for this one. But the thing about that for me is that I want it to be original 150 Pokemon, right? Like, if you want to expand into Gold and Silver, I'll accept that. But like, the original 150 is where it's at, and like the further into it you get, the more clear it was they were running out of ideas. Because they get more and more Digimon like, where it's just like, oh, here's a thing that has like 18 million bells and baubles all over them. And not to say that they didn't have some cool ones for each generation, but they just, like, the original 150 was so rad because they were all basically just animals. They were all animals that could just like breathe fire or like ice, you know, or spray you with water or something. Like, that's what they were. It was so awesome that way. So much better that way. Anyway, thanks for coming to my TED Talk. I'll get off the soapbox here. The rest can bugger off. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I say, I will accept Gold and Silver, not necessarily because I thought the Pokemon, like the actual Pokemon in there were excellent, but because like Heart Gold and Soul Silver were the best Pokemon games ever made. Fight me. It's basically food Pokemon. Yeah, I know. I mean, they've got that one that's literally a bag of garbage. Like, that's literally what it is. It's a Pokemon that like adapted to look like a bag of garbage, and it's like, okay, I guess it's kind of weird. It's just kind of weird. And they've got the ice cream one that's just a floating ice cream cone. It's like, what kind of weird freaking South Park alien bullshit is this? It's so weird. I'm not into it. I won't take it away from anyone because I recognize that some people really love that stuff, but nah, if it's up to me, 150, we don't need any more. But 151, we'll let Mew can come too. But really, what I'm saying is, what the take home that everyone should be getting from this whole rant of mine, I want my own real life Arcanine so I can ride around on a freaking fire breathing tiger dog. That's what I want. That's all I need. That's all I need in my life. If I did that, everything else would take care of itself. Everything else would take care of itself at that point in time. Stopped at Ruby, Sapphire, Gold and Silver were great. Even Crystal. Yeah. Gold, Silver, Crystal are great. Like I say, Heart Gold and Soul Silver, best Pokemon games ever made. Fight me. Like, they were the best. They were so awesome. A remake of the only one that like had 2 fully fleshed out 8 gym worlds that you could go into, handheld. Are you kidding me? And like they can't replicate that anymore. Come on, man. Come on. It was so sad when Ruby and Sapphire did not include at least one other world in them when you beat it. It was so sad. Evolutionary influences would happen to make a creature evolve to look like food or a garbage bag, right? It's just kind of depressing, the implications of that. Really enjoyed Emerald. That's fine. That's fine. You can enjoy Emerald. You're wrong. Heart Gold and Soul Silver were better, but and joke's on you. I win because I'm the one with the microphone. So, haha. How's that for some ego? No, like I say, I would never take away any of the others from anyone. I would never take them away, but none of them have recreated the magic that Red and Blue first gave to me. Like, in the original set of the Pokemon trading cards and everything, those originals, they were just so magical, and I was so enamored with it. And Heart Gold, Soul Silver captured that magic for me. So they kind of made me like, oh my gosh, these are so amazing. I'm totally down for DS and 3DS Pokemon. I'm totally in it. And then it's never been able to live up to that, right? It's one of those things where it's like you reach the peak, and so even if the other ones are good, they're just not as good. It's been ruined for me, right? It's kind of like how I can't play Breath of the Wild anymore because when I first played it, I loved it so much. I pumped like 400 hours into that game. Like when it was all said and done, it was like 150 hours the first month, and that was when I was in grad school working like 80 hours a week. I still pumped that much time. I loved it so much. Now every time I pull it out and play it, it's not necessarily it just doesn't meet that same magic for me. It doesn't do it. There are some things where that first time, or that first instance is just so perfect that you just can't recreate it. You just can't do it. Back to D&D. Oh, that's right. This is a D&D stream, isn't it? Sorry. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. Got planned for your players next station. Lunar Gala Harvest Halloween Festival. That sounds awesome. Sounds awesome. I thought about doing like a haunted house one shot or something like that for my guys, but then I didn't. Sorry. Sorry about that. But I have in the past done like holiday one shots and stuff like that, like for like Christmas and all that stuff. I've done those types of holiday one shots, so they can be fun. They can definitely be fun, especially if your group has been going hard on whatever their campaign is. Festival game for each ability score. Nice. It's like a big carnival. I dig it. I would just want to make my players all go trick-or-treating, and if they do something wrong, they get like tricked and they lose some stuff. But then if they win, they get treated and they get like free stuff. And it's just like, I don't know. That's what it would be. It would just be like, as much time as we have, they just go ring on as many doorbells and we'll just have random crap happen. Alex is scary enough. Cash Monet is not to be trifled with. Alex knows what he's doing too. He's like I was telling him, I always love having him in games because, my goodness, like he finds a way to be a power gamer, like with his characters without it being annoying, because he puts actual personality to them too. They're not just machines there to kill. He's just also really good at reading all of his abilities and remembering to use all of them every time. He's such a good player. It's so amazing. Let's see here. Okay, yeah, I should probably do some like writing, shouldn't I? Okay, so as you enter the wall, it seems quiet and empty inside. However, as you step forward, you see the ground shimmering with an almost silky reflection of what little light is entering the space. You realize, with a mix of disappointment. No, what letter did I miss? Oh, I missed a P in there. Okay. Let's see here. I realize with a mix of disappointment and terror that the ground is completely covered in spider webs. As you try to, and like these are all sentences that will be kind of just like read off and like presented to the players bit by bit. So as you try to walk forward, you feel your feet sticking to the ground, and then it just sort of turns into yes and from there on out. It's the most personal robot from iRobot. Literally, one of his characters is a Warforged, so like literally, he's made that robot. Log toss for strength, axe throwing for dex, fair. Hot chili pepper eating contest for constitution. That's legit. That's legit. Hide and seek with some local kids for wisdom. Simon says dance off intelligence. Okay, all right. And then battle cry competition. Nice. I like the battle cry one. It's just a bunch of people like yelling and screaming at each other. I'd watch that. I'd watch that carnival game. I don't know if I'd participate, but I'd watch it. Let's see. Okay, so we got the trap there. What else do we need? Oh, we need health items. Oh, this is going to be fun. This is going to be really good. I know exactly how we're going to do the health items. Let's see here. You notice on the ground, roughly halfway through the webs, is a pouch next to, here we go, to a skeleton. See, that's the skeleton. Okay, the skeleton. See, that's the type of levity and humor that I'm willing to, that fits in my high fantasy world here. Just like a comedically placed skeleton, because it's realistic for it to be there, but also there's something kind of amusing and sad about it. Let's see, there's a pouch next to a skeleton that appears to have spilled out a few potion vials. Ooh, potions. You know, players will be all about that. Okay. So, and we're gonna do, I'm just gonna put the little mechanics here. I need to change my font couleur for this. So let's see here. Picking up potions requires strength DC. We'll say 11 for that. To break free of webs, unless some other creative idea. Just like if they come up with something else creative, obviously we can yes and that. So I've always been amused by the trope of the dead adventurer with unused health pots on the person, right? There is something ironic and amusing about it. I feel like we can get away with it in this situation though, because if the guy fell in the spider webs and died while he was there, he might have like had his arm so thoroughly plastered that he couldn't reach any of his potions. So in this scenario, it seems appropriate. You know, it's like you gotta make it so that there's some sort of way they died that they wouldn't have had time or the ability to reach into their pack for said potions. You know, like a straight up decapitation. It's like, you know what, if your head just gets like flat out lopped off, probably not a lot of opportunity to drink a potion in there. Health potion in one of his hands, he managed to get out of the bag but couldn't get both hands together to uncork it. It'd be so sad. No, I'm gonna make both hands reaching towards the pouch, right? Both hands plastered to the ground, reaching towards the pouch like he was desperately trying to do it. God, this guy's already dead, but I just feel like I'm abusing him at this point in time. Okay, you notice on the ground, roughly halfway through the webs, it's a pouch next to a skeleton that appears to have spilled out a few potion vials. Alright, I always try to do 5 potions. Let me look through. I'm just gonna pull up here. We need to go to game rules. We want to go to magic items. Magic items. Let's look at the potions here. So we're obviously going to do health potions. That's easy. But I want to look and see if there are any other potions that seem appropriate that would be fun to put here. Potion of climbing. Potion of comprehension. Potion of Dragon's Majesty. That's a little OP for a level 3 dungeon here. I'm thinking Potion of Climbing would make sense. Like, it would make sense. They're in the middle of the mountains. It would make sense for an adventurer to have a couple potions of climbing, right? Like, that makes sense. That's logical. Potion of Giant Size. Do that one. See, that wouldn't make sense. It seems like it would make sense, but it wouldn't. Potion of Gaseous Form. That's almost like a cheat code right there. It's almost a cheat code. Getting through there. Invisibility, Heroism... Invulnerability, maximum power. Potion of mind control, mind reading. Yeah, I think potion of climbing is probably going to be the one to do. It's a potion that lets you cast the web spell. Potion of Spider-Man. Potion of radioactive spider. No, I like the potion of climbing. I think that's logical. I think it's logical for an adventurer in this area to have climbing potions on his person. I think, you know, it just makes sense. So we'll just throw a couple of those in there. So 3 potion of healing and 2 potion of climbing. It's a little formulaic. It's a little formulaic that I always do 5 potions, but I always do 5 potions because my dungeons are always balanced to 5 players. Always balanced to 5 players, and so that way each of them can have a potion, so that way no one feels left out, right? It's like taking care of children, looking after your players. You have to make sure there's enough for everyone to share. Otherwise everyone will get jealous of the one that got something. So everyone has to get something. It's why a lot of families will do like something special for the one kid, even when it's the other kid's birthday or something like that, right? Just because they know the one kid's going to be super upset and jealous because everyone's singing and giving gifts to big brother, and so little brother feels left out. I'm saying players are children, and they need pacification if things are going to go by peacefully. It's like really is like a grown-up daycare playing D&D, you know. So zinger, got him. All right. No, I think that'll work just fine for our stuff. Let me go ahead and add the decorations into here. We need to just add some objects in here. Object tool. Just gonna put a whole just poop ton of spider webs. Just so many spider webs. Just don't even know. You guys aren't ready for this. Watch this. I'm just gonna like layer all kinds of different ones all the way along this area, right? And you just kind of randomize the... Actually, no, we could probably do... We just do the scatter tool and it'll like automatically like scatter them around. Like they're gonna kind of poke out the walls a little bit, but I bet you no one even notices. I bet you no one will even see and notice. Throw a bunch of these ones down here too. Look at this. You just do this. Just gonna... There we go. That's perfect. That's perfect. I don't even need to use multiple different types of spider webs. Boom. It's perfect. Nailed it. It's exactly how we needed it to be. So, excellent, excellent, excellent. I love it. I love it. And the nice part is that's really all we need to do. I suppose I can put... Oh, we gotta put a skeleton and a pouch in there. We gotta get that going for us here. So let's see here. Do they have a skeleton? Is there a skeleton? Yay! It's not really a normal response to skeleton, is it? Yay! There we go. Oh wait, hold on. I don't want it to be a scatter. I just want it to be an object tool here. Skellington. Jack, where are you, Mr. Skellington? And wait. Okay, here's how we're gonna do this. We'll go like right there, and then do we have already a pouch? Have we already used something like that? Sacks. Let me try pouch. Oh. What about bag? Sack. Ah, that's what we're looking for. Boom, just a little sack. Just out of reach, like he was trying to reach for it. Perfect. They freak out players by having them encounter dead half phase spider. Oh yeah. I just really instilled the fear of God. Yeah, you could put like a big giant spider. Oh, wait, hold on. Go back to skeletons. Do they have something that looks like a spider skeleton or something? I mean, obviously a spider doesn't have a skeleton. Oh, well, they've got an exoskeleton, but you understand what I'm going for here. You understand what the crap I'm saying? No, they don't have anything like that. What if we just did spider? Yeah, here we go. Just like, put that right there. Next to him, just like it's dead. That would be really funny. That'd be so mean. That'd be so mean to do to the players. No, I don't think we'll do that. I kind of like the idea of just the spider being long gone. Because, like, I feel like that's, like so the putting the spider skeleton there, or the dead spider, whatever, spider exoskeleton, whatever you want to say, I don't know. Putting that there would be really good for, like, the cheap thrill jump scare effect of them being like, oh, there it is. Right, and have them panic for it. But not having that there, but like by putting that there, that gives them confirmation that, oh, it's dead, we're probably safe. If you don't put that there and just have the spider mysteriously gone, they're going to be wondering for the entirety of the dungeon now, is there a spider going to jump out? Is there a spider somewhere in this building that is going to jump out at us? So you can really get that more long-term slow burn fear into them, right? And that's usually what I go for. I like the terror to be a bit more drawn out and prolonged. So I think that'll be good. Hey Spesh, how's it going? Yes, I do have hair. Less of it now, but I do have hair. Let's see here. Let's see here. Lucky man. No, just, man who knows how to schedule and spend, a few bucks. Let's see here. Okay, let's see here. Later on, describe them. Skittering noises in the dark, leave it open as whether it's spider legs or mice or something like that. Yeah, just like generalize, just like generally describe there being some sort of like scritching or something happening in the building. Is it tree branches? Is it a spider? Is it the giant weasels? Hard to say. Put a spider that's dead but with larger mandibles stuck in it, implying there's another spider. Oh my goodness. Oh boy. Is your stum special? I have no idea what you're trying to say, buddy. I'm gonna be perfectly honest here. That one's going completely over my head. I have no idea what you're trying to say. Alright, so we got that one. Hard. Okay, so this is gonna be a hard battle here. If you are typing, so why do you do it? Why do you do it? I feel like this is like the second or third time. I feel like this is the second time. That like second or third time you've sit there and struggled with it. Tilting at windmills only in my free time. Only in my free time. Only in my free time. I'm glad someone understood my Quixotic reference though. Boy, good old Don Quixote. Is it your stomach? You know what? I feel like that's. I'm not entirely sure. Is what your stomach? Gonna be honest, especially I have no idea. No idea. If you're the rogue, found a mandible stuck in a spider, take it and totally turn it into a dagger. Yeah, or as Tony has done, make there's like an actual word for them when they've got like the little hook blades or something like that. 100% a weapon that I allowed to happen in the game, mostly because I knew it would be too absurd to be useful in more than just specific situations. Alright, let's see here. Comma, is that the word for it? That might be the word for it, yeah. Where they're like they're chained together blades, which just like, I feel like is just the worst idea, because how many people are competent enough with nunchucks to not destroy their own nads or whatever with them, right? And so now we're going to add a blade to it, so that way we can really, really screw ourselves up when we smack ourselves in the face with it. Great idea. Excellent. Circumcision. Ugh. Ugh. That'd be the worst one. That'd be the worst one. Has yet to be successful since attaching the mandibles. That's true. Although to be fair, Dusky has really been leaning heavy into the ranged crossbow attacks. I know somebody has master nunchucks. So I don't know. I'm assuming there's yeah, they've got no balls. I was gonna say there's gonna be some sort of some sort of punchline involved there. All right, let's see here. So okay, we need to get a hard battle going here. Room 7. Wait, hold on. 7. That's inside the wall, right? Where's my map? There we are. Oh no, it's inside the room here. Okay, I didn't remember if I went straight across or went down here. Apparently, I went down to there. So, there you go. Dusky's the nunchuck master. There it is. There it is. I should get advantage. No, I'm drawing a line. I'm drawing a line. I've been very friendly to you guys. Like half of you guys have silvered weapons. I'm drawing a line. Foot down. Foot has been put down. Okay, let's see here. So a hard battle needs to have where is it? 700 experience points worth. Oh, that's right. And I kind of thought about, let's see here, in this room. So we already did one that's got lots of elks and giant goats. I kind of want to just do one that's just a herd of elk sitting in there that they gotta fight. Yeah, seven. Oh no, that'd be too many elk. I guess we'll do giant goats. Okay, why not? There's 7 giant goats. Easy enough. Who cares? Who cares? It's deadly. It'll be hard for them to fight them. 7 giant goats. Boom. That's it. As you enter the room, you find yourself face to face with a large, well, I'm not gonna say large, with just a herd of giant goats. As soon as they see you, they bleat. they bleat like there's no tomorrow. You get the sense that it isn't friendly. Oops, I can spell friendly. Friendly bleeding. Boom, there it is. That's all we need. Let's see, I can't remember if you mentioned it before or not. The Icon DM's Guild called Not So Legendary, which is a great little guide on how to add 1 to 4 legendary accents to an existing sample pack. I've never used it, but I've seen it before. I've seen that before. And it's an interesting idea. It's an interesting idea, and I may invoke it at some point in time to start doing it. I am trying not to, I generally try not to, just because I don't want to make that so common that it doesn't feel extra epic when they do face something that has legendary actions. Like I like that to be I like those to feel special. And then yes, exactly, Tamaru. It's boss battles to me are much more interesting if it's a particularly tough bad guy, not the toughest, but a tough bad guy with minions. That makes the action economy much more challenging for players, and it actually makes for a much harder battle if you do like a kind of difficult boss with minions as opposed to doing just like one really difficult boss. Because if the players can spend every single turn just smacking the guy while he only has maybe 2 or 3 attacks to get maybe half of them, they will be able to just bullhead their way through. Just, put the ram horns on and just smoke through the guy. But if there's minions and stuff that are also distracting and adding that action economy to it, it makes a boss battle much more difficult. Use it quite a bit, mainly DM for party of 3, so then counterbalancing is super tricky. That's fair. See, now that's fair. That's a fair caveat to what I'm saying. If you have a really small group, action economy then very swiftly changes from manageable to deadly, and there's not necessarily as much room for a middle ground in there. So that's a fair caveat. That's a fair caveat. And like I say, it's definitely an interesting idea that I've looked at, and I'm not against using it per se. I just haven't found a place where it makes sense to use it for myself yet. Let's see here. I do need to add just a little bit of detail here. To open, oops, I want to capitalize that. Open the door, the actual door, the players need to have the key from room 1 in their possession. Possession? Is that it? There it is, yeah. Boom. Bada bing, bada boom. There we go. This boss fight was 3 zombies, 2 skeletons, and an ogre zombie. Yeah, that'll do it. Yeah, that'll do it. But not tie it past like 5 on. That's always, so you can ask my players about this even just recently. One of the hard things for me as a DM is when I'm just having really lucky rolls and they're having really unlucky rolls, right? Because that can take something that's completely manageable and turn it into something just 100% deadly. And I'm always just sitting there thinking, like, I don't want you guys to have, to essentially have to cheat to win. I don't want to cheapen your victory by lying and making things artificially easier. But at the same time, I do want you guys to be the hero. Like, that's the fun part of this game, is watching you guys just kick butt and be complete heroes. And so that's always a hard situation for sure. Hard situation for sure. So yeah, I feel that. Yeah, exactly, Tony. The last session, yeah, I felt bad. I felt bad getting all those amazing rolls for so much stuff, but it's like, I'm not gonna lie and take away a legitimate thing, because you guys handled it. You guys did fine. No one even went down. It was fine. when the CR3 HP 3 HP face spider encounter crits 3 times in a row while the party whiffs every shot. Exactly. It's just pure luck. Pure luck can change things entirely, which is what's great about this game, but it's also what drives me insane about this game. Super swing, it's rarely been even a fight. It's always one side completely destroying the other. Poison damage was real. Well, and that was the thing, though. That was the thing. The thing that was cracking me up about last session was those centipedes. They had such little health. It would have been a one-shot KO. But you guys kept getting hyper-fixated on the rust monsters because they had more HP, even though they were generally doing way less damage to you guys. You guys would ignore the centipedes and go for those things, so the centipedes could just kind of keep sitting there and being like, all right, well, they'll keep biting. And they've only got one thing to do. So all that disease and that poison was getting you guys. Oh, man. Oh, boy. Let's see here. Okay, I got to figure out how the... Oh, yeah, I was thinking the map for this would be a really funny... Like, it would be really funny... it would be really funny if, like, the maps to this were basically just handwritten notes by the giants, because they can't remember what happens in each room. So, let's see here. Lying on a table in the corner of this room is a handwritten note by a giant, as determined by the size of the handwriting. It is a crudely drawn map of this shrine, with each room let's say a map of this part of the shrine, with each label written simply as label simply as big room or small room with beds. Clearly this was a note by a giant to itself to help it remember how this simple shrine was laid out. Real simple, just like that. Let's see here. Let's see, need some catapult touch table. There you go. Such managed to bait the wizard and the party into wasting 2 second-level spell slots, killing a dozen Sturges. Nice. Use up them spell slots. Let's see here. The word handwriting needs to be inside quotation marks. Yeah, that's right. That's right. The giants, by the size of the chicken scratch. Hey, Thrax, how's it going? I did. I appreciate that that you consider the haircut follow-worthy. I will tell my friend, who is my hairdresser. I have a friend from all the way back in elementary school. She and I were neighbors growing up, and I always, whenever I get the chance, I go to her to get my hair done, and she's excellent. So I will pass along the compliments. But yeah, she did a wonderful job. She did a wonderful job as always. As always. All right, so let's hear. So I've now committed. This room at least has to have a table. I've committed that much by just my description here. So let's just find a table. Can be kind of a small table. Oh, here we go. That one's even got like a piece of paper on it. But now we gotta make it like really big. We gotta double the size here. There we go. Because it's a giant table. This isn't your mama's table. This is a giant table. Put that there. And if there's gonna be a table, I feel like there needs to be now there needs to be a chair to go along with it, right? Am I right? And of course, we're gonna make it a nice big giant chair. I kind of like the idea of it being a stool that's just been knocked over. Because it's been a while since anyone was in here. So there we go. Boom. There we go. Character to create in a game. Don't apologize for that. It's trying to be like a character that would fit in the world of Fallout is at least a consideration in many decisions I make in my life. Oh boy. No, mohawks are rad, and I'm super stoked that I'm an adult and I can have one without my parents grounding me. So, you know, cool adult life there. That's what I have chosen to use my my powers as a self-driven adult. I've chosen to give myself kick-ass haircuts. Well, not give myself, but you understand what I'm saying. Let's put some chairs. I don't know. It's a sitting room. Why not? Skyrim and Fallout. They're both. I mean, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. Like, I mean, realistically, one of them is just sci-fi and one of them's fantasy. Same studio and everything. Yeah, well, I don't know. We'll just put some chairs in this room. Why not? It doesn't matter. There we go. That room's been decorated. You know, I didn't put anything in this room, but I feel like I need to put some things in this room. Like, this is like a large, like, worshipping area. I feel like there needs to be some chairs that are just, like, stacked around here. Oh, wait, hold up. Undo. Boom, there we go. See, check it out. We'll just, like, make it almost like a church, right? Because there's, like, the little aisle down the center. And it's the giant sitting in worship room. Boom, why not, right? We can do whatever we want, and so I want to do it this way. That's what I'm doing. Boom, boom, boom. Boom. Ba-boom, and bada-boom. Bada-boom. Alright, so there we go. Man who farts in church is on own pew. Man who farts in church has become pew. Let's see here. Hybridized dragons and nuclear mutants. Something epic. I mean, yeah, that'd be pretty rad. I feel like you could probably almost make an argument that the black dragons function that way, right? Because of all the poison and stuff. You could almost argue that fits the bill. Let me see here. Hold on. Try carpet here. I almost wonder if we could like put like a big rug here that goes along. Make this feel all kinds of churchy, right? But they're not great at decorating, so it's like separate rugs that they've just kind of like laid out. We can put that. We can put one underneath these chairs too. Boom. There we go. Now that has a place. Now that feels like a place of worship. Am I right? Am I right? Holy wow. Okay, hold on. Dating site out there. You use one other than for research purposes. Don't be ashamed of it, man. Like, it's hard to meet people as an adult. If you use one, then great. Like, don't be embarrassed about that. Anyway, attempt to create a psychological profile of yourself before signing up. One of the questions they ask is, would you like the thought of living in a Fallout-like post-apocalyptic scenario entertaining? Would you find the thought of entertaining? So to think about Fallout 4 reading that. I feel like that's such a weird question to ask. Cause it's like, would you find that enjoyable? No. No one would find that enjoyable. Realistically speaking, like what it's actually asking is, do you think Fallout is cool? Because realistically speaking, anyone with half a brain would be like, no, that would suck. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Anyone who understands that reference would automatically be disappointed because that means no more video games, and they're clearly someone who plays video games. What a silly question. What a silly question. What a goofy question to ask people. Would you like the world to end? No one would want to. No one would want to. Homebrew set of nuclear dragons. That would be pretty cool. Nuclear dragon, like radioactive dragons. It's just like it's basically the elephant's foot, but it moves. Oh boy. No, the rugs. The rugs are going under the chairs. It's just rugs for decoration. I live in Skyrim than Fallout. I guess I kind of would too, probably. 'Cause Skyrim somehow feels cleaner than Fallout does. You know? I mean, Fallout, just everything seems really disgusting because there's no functional water anywhere. It's all irradiated. So I guess I kind of am in agreement with that. As weird as that is to say. Alright, there we go. So we got our rugs down. It's perfect. Modded Skyrim. Well, yeah, if we're going in fantasy, I assume that instead of dragons, it's just instances of Randy Savage flying around. Like, that's what my preference is, personally. Alright, okay, so that room's decorated. That's good, that's good. That's good. Riding the horse version of Tommy Wiseau around. Some crazy mods people have made for that game. Let's see here. Okay, so we got room 7 all figured out. We decorated room 5 there, which I neglected to do. Now we're on to room 8. Okay, we gotta come up with an item that goes in this room. Okay, it's gonna be the space in between the walls here. So this little space. Let's see here. Skyrim, just hasn't endured nuclear weapons. Can get behind that. Yeah, I feel ya. Like, just the fact that you don't have to worry about growing extra limbs while wandering around definitely makes Skyrim kind of nice. Fan of those out of place kind of mods. Funny to look at for one moment. Yeah, no, I actually, like, if we're being realistic, I'm with you 100%. Like, mods are fun for an afternoon. Just in general, I always find mods are really fun for an afternoon. At least those, like, really goofy, out-of-place ones. They're fun for an afternoon, but after a while I'm like, yeah, okay, it was fun, but now the joke has kind of run its course. Like, no, that's legit. That's legit. That's 100% legit. And I tend to agree with you, actually. I mean, it's the same reason why, as much as I love the idea, I'm not putting a giant-sized mousetrap in this dungeon. Because it's amusing, but, like, it would get... The joke would play itself out pretty quickly, I feel like. So... No, I feel you 100%. I actually agree with that completely. Okay, so safe room in here. So let's say, I don't know, I usually try to offer some sort of excuse, like some sort of explanation that players could barricade, like, this area. So let's see here. Safe. As you enter this section of the wall, you find let's see here. You find the floor filled with various chunks of rock and wall that seem to have collected in this area. Let's see here. As you enter this section of the wall, you find the floor filled with various chunks of rock and wall that seem to have collected. Actually, I don't like the way that's worded. Collected over time. Time over time. Let's see here. There seems to be enough that you feel you could block off a segment of the wall and allow yourselves a peaceful rest despite the dangers that are present in this area. Let's see. Okay. Let's see. Well, the followers have created yourself an exactly lore-friendly creator to be an interdimensional trial that's kind of fourth wall breaking, but still trying not to feel too out of place. Taking things, putting on my own twist on them, and rolling with that. I mean, you just described why modding exists. Like, yeah, 100%, 100%. That's what people like. That's where the concept of it comes from. So, I feel that. Let's see here. Let's see. Sorry, I'm fussing with my work phone here. Just got to keep track of a few things. Is all. You know how it be. Responsibles in life and everything like that. So yeah, that's also the exact description of why I love homebrew. Right? You take the concept presented to you by D&D, and then you put your own twist on it. Like that's also, that's also the concept of like fan fictions and all that kind of stuff. That's like an exceedingly normal thing to do, and I think it's something that most creative people do. And I actually think that doing that is what sort of fosters creativity in a lot of people. Let's see here. Actually, I had a discussion with someone once. Talking about the concept of using like fan fiction as an educational tool. Like think about like whenever you had writing assignments in school that were more along the lines of like write an afterword or write a diary entry from the perspective of a character in the book we're reading. Like kids get so much more passionate about that kind of stuff because suddenly like it's not them just trying to like clinically write some sort of essay. It's them actually being creative and having fun with it. And so it tends to evoke a lot more passion in a lot more students when you can do stuff like that. So I think that's totally legit. I think that's a totally legit thing. Another example would be college just had to answer from one of the most favorite beloved studios. Christmas contest. There's no Christmas celebration within Witcher 3 by default, but people were asked to give it their best shot. There you go. Yeah, exactly. Right? Yeah, it's it's doing stuff like that like it really fosters creativity, right? And it's like it's an easy way using existing things as a springboard for then putting your own creativity into things is a really good way to help people foster their creativity without them kind of getting stuck at that initial writer's block phase, right? It gives them something to start with. It gives them a beginning point that they can then go with, and then eventually that will turn into them being like, you know what, I've got an original idea that like is inspired by this, but I'm not going to use the same world. It's like someone might come up with their own sci-fi world because they're like, you know what, I've written so much fun stuff about Star Wars, but I've come up with so many new ideas that I would rather just start my own thing. And that's like how you birth writers. Like that's where the creativity, it's such a good way to foster creativity. And it's so much better than doing clinical writing. As someone who's come from doing research in science fields and stuff like that and has to write very clinical reports, I'm good at it, and it's an important thing to do. It is an important skill to have, to be able to do a more clinical, description of things and do that type of writing. It's important, but it is not fun. It's not fun. It's not exciting. It's not creative. It is a very a very prescribed form of writing that has a very specific purpose, um, and it just doesn't foster it. So it's like, why would we, in creative settings such as, reading a book or writing about like different art forms that we've looked into, it's like, why would we force students to do that same thing from the very beginning? Give them a creative outlet. Like, that's what those serve. There's a place for clinical writing about those types of writings, right? When you're doing an analysis about a book or a movie or something like that, there's a place for it. But when you're just trying to get kids to like improve their reading comprehension, do what gets them passionate about it. Interesting. Kids being creative. Used to write elaborate essays at school. Uh, 8 to 10 pages reading pages class. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. It's like, if you can get people passionate about it, then like they'll continue doing it. And it'll also make those instances where you can't do creative writing, where you have to do the clinical writing, it'll make it more tolerable, because people know that's just one thing you're going to do. It's not like what all of writing is. It's kind of like how reading, forcing kids to read these really old, really difficult to slog through classics in middle and high school can sap the fun of reading from so many of them, right? There are so many kids that like they stop loving reading because they spend all of ninth grade reading like The Hunchback of Notre Dame, which like a third of that book is essays on architecture of like ancient France. And it's like, like, of course they're not going to be excited about reading if that's what you've given to them. If they find themselves interested in that, it's there, and there is value to it. But when all they're doing is doing that kind of stuff, doing these like critical analysis of Shakespeare, right, as a high schooler, it's like, man, forget that. Give them freaking like give them books about dragons and crap. Give them the fun stuff to read. Give them stuff that they're going to love and is going to encourage them to read. So then when they get to college and they start doing that stuff and start doing their grad work on that, they love to read and they feel that passion about it and they want to challenge themselves with more difficult things. God, how much I love creative writing. College never had a class that called for it until I decided to start DMing. Yeah, exactly. That's just it. People forget. People forget that writing is fun. It's a fun, creative thing to do because we spend so much time insisting upon doing that clinical version of writing, which, again, it has its place. Don't get me wrong. But, yeah, people, it's just, doing fan fictions, doing this type of homebrew writing and stuff like that, like, there's so much value to it. There's so much value that people don't give credit to these days, and it's such a disappointment. It's like, man, no wonder we're all so boring, sad, depressed, and unimaginative in life. It's like we do everything we can to burn it out of ourselves at an early age. It's like, oh my goodness gracious, man. Holy wow. Met with the previous anecdote. At one point a teacher was like, homework the next week, write a short story about the topic of your choosing. Listen, yeah, I was going to say, if you give kids freedom and give them the stuff to do, and let them choose to do it as like a Harry Potter fan fiction or something like that, it's like, freaking let them do it, right? If that's what's going to get them creative and passionate about it, let them do it. Love DMing because it's the right style of creative writing. Try doing proper story writing, but suck at things like dialogue, etc. Yeah, it's one form of it. It's world building is what it is. And for me, that's why I love DMing too, because world building is my favorite part. I can do dialogue like passively, but it's much more fun for me to just kind of create a world and environment, put in details about it. I love describing. I love descriptive situations. Like, that's the type of writing I love, and so that's what D&D is great for. Like, D&D is such an amazing source of fostering creativity, regardless of what your role is, just regardless of what campaign you're doing. It's just it is nothing but imagination and creativity, and like I part of me thinks that that's part of why it's getting such a big resurgence these days in popularity, is because people are like, and it's really fun to just use your imagination, just sit around and do joint storytelling with your buds, right? It is so much fun to be able to do that sometimes, and so I feel like that's where it's coming from, and I think it's, I think people need to, just in general, like I say, appreciate the importance of creativity in life, because I feel like that's just something that is not encouraged the way it should be nowadays. I don't know. I'm really getting on a lot of soapboxes today. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk, but No, the upshot is modding is cool in games. Isn't that where this conversation started? It started talking about like different mods and stuff that people like to do. Isn't that where we came from? I don't know. Okay, escape from reality. Hell yeah, man. It's a great escape from reality, but it can be a really good way to process reality, right? Like doing role playing with a specific character. I think it can be really valuable, especially for people who aren't typically super in touch with like their emotions and stuff. If you create a character that's like an analog for you, right, and you just put in some aspects of your emotions that you're wanting to explore, it kind of gives you the freedom because it gives you that out to say like, oh, it's the character, it's the character, right? But it can be a character that's based on some of your thoughts that you then can like dial up to 11, right? And really explore those thoughts and emotions through a character and just process and understand them. It's like it's a way to step out of your own perspective almost when analyzing your own thoughts, which is such an important thing to do, but we don't really teach people how to do that. So it's like role playing can be a really valuable part of that too. So I don't know. I think I guess really what the upshot here is D&D and other things, right? Other creative pursuits, I think have much more value beyond just the fact that they're fun, right? And people don't give credit to that, but the fact is there's actual skills and knowledge that can be gained from these creative pursuits. And I wish there was a bit more acknowledgement of that in the world. Although I will say I do actually think that we are getting there. I think the society just while there are many problems that modern day society has, I think there are some improvements that have been made compared to past generations. And I think the fact that our generation and younger is so much more in tune with our emotions than our parents' generation, than our grandparents' generations, demonstrates that, improvements are being made. Change is slow and painful oftentimes, but it's still being made. It's still being made. We can acknowledge that bit of positivity and hope in our lives. Oh boy, I've done like no writing. I'm just sitting here ranting all day long. I should have put this one as category just chatting. Are you kidding me? You kidding me, man? Ah, but we're having fun with it. Having fun with it, faux show. Faux show. Oh boy. Okay, let me see here. What are we working on here? Oh wait, we got another wall of text. I want to see this. Okay, before we leave it, I got interested in English early, even before school. By the way, it all comes down to video games. Yeah, sure. The name most of the games weren't localized in native language, but wanted to be able to at least roughly follow the plot. Funny enough, that was interest gave me the edge over most of the other students, which is only helpful. Yeah, I mean that's legit. That's legit. It immerses you in it. It immerses you in the language, and it kind of forces you to understand it 100%. That's why people learn languages so quickly and so well when they like have the opportunity to like live with a sponsor family or something like that, right? That's why kids whose parents are immigrants from a country that speaks one language into another country. That's why it's so easy for them to do it, because like in the world they're immersed in one language, but then at home they're immersed in another one, and that immersion is what gives them the ability to learn it all. And if you're not always writing, still sharing valuable D&D knowledge. That's true. We are discussing a lot of knowledge, and I mean, I think there's value in just sitting here and chit-chatting about like the value and fun of D&D, even if we're not talking about anything technical. That's fair. Been preaching ever since. Put passion behind it, and you can achieve anything with ease. Yeah, 100%. 100%. It is so much easier to achieve things with passion. Now, that said, like, there is, like I say, just like there's a recognition that there is a time and place for technical clinical writing. It's like my day job. Would I say I'm passionate about it? Probably not. But I enjoy it, and it pays the bills, right? And I'm capable of doing it. So sometimes things in life do just require work, and that sucks. But if you can find things that even though it takes work, you're passionate about it, then yeah, absolutely. You can definitely take that to all new heights. And that's why you see people who are passionate and can find the funding to like be really good, swimmers or whatever, then end up at the Olympics at the age of 16 and they're like kicking butt, right? But yeah, no, it's like everything comes in balance. But no, I think ultimately you're right. It is easier to achieve things and accomplish things when you're passionate about them. There's no doubt about that. the heck were we working on? Oh yeah, there's an item. Man, what item am I gonna give these guys? I haven't even thought about this at all. Oh boy, boy oh boy, boy oh boy. I think here, what kind of item would be a good one to get them in here? Something that would make sense, to be in this area, maybe kind of tucked away back in this wall. Something that an adventurer would have if they were hiding in these walls, right? I mean, it could even just be something super mundane. Super mundane. It doesn't even have to be particularly extravagant. I just always like it to be kind of thematic and special because I think that's fun and funny. Like, kind of like how in the other one, it's a giant's cane, right? It's a giant's cane that can be used as a staff by players, right? Because it's for a giant. Let's see here. As in advance of those headphones just for swagger. So, I am not rich. So, the best mic that I have is this one. And I am not presently capable of buying a better mic, although I do intend to someday when I've got the money saved up. I do intend to do that. But I have these headphones down because I always put on that the background music just so there's something. Yeah, it's the mic is why. Yeah, no, they're not for swagger. But yeah, no, I have them down. I have them down because the music. I like having the background music, so it's not just silent when I'm sitting there trying to think about things. But that said, like, there's such a limited supply of copyright-free music to use that, like, when I'm using just some sort of like chill background music, it all gets very repetitive when it's like directly in my ears. So I have my in-ear headphones in here so that I can have some music, but the music that I'm listening to is not copyright-free, and I would get in trouble. And, like freaking Sony or whatever would come bust down my door and arrest me for not giving them, their due eighth of a cent for every song that I'm playing or whatever. Hi, kitty. Are you going to come snuggle? Do you want some body heat? Is that why you're here? Or are you just going to stand there awkwardly? No, we're going to come snuggle. Okay. I know. It's a good kitty. It's a good, sweet kitty. But yeah, no, that's the explanation for the headphones. I know it's weird. But yeah, that is the reason why. The other thing too is like these things clamping on my head for 4 hours would definitely be uncomfortable because these things are pretty old. The padding is pretty well shot. We do the best with what we have. Oh boy. Okay, so I'm still trying to think of an item here. Sometimes stuff that's the music usually is pretty loud. Let's roll that way. Yeah, I feel that. While you need to turn it down a few notches, the way to give me a headache. Yeah, no. Even something that you like in moderation, 100% in moderation. Let me see here. What would be a good item? We did the cane for the giants. So that'd be funny. But if it's gonna be in the middle of a wall, it has to be something that'd be reasonably in the wall. So I'm almost wondering if, like, again, kind of going with since it's up in the mountains, it would have to be some sort of like climbing gear, or at least it would make sense for there to be some sort of climbing gear. So, like, if we give them, like, some sort of climbing rope or something like that, some sort of, like, slightly special rope, that'd be interesting. That'd be kind of a fun thematic thing that they find was just left in the wall. Or it could be, like, a building tool that the giants would use, and they didn't realize they left it in the wall when they finished the wall. So it's like a giant's, like, it's like some sort of, like, bricklaying tool or whatever. And then, and then the players could use it as like a giant hand axe or something. That'd be kind of funny. Oh, with something clever to tell while letting the sub alert roll. So you don't even have a sub button yet. No, I don't. There's no subscriptions and everything like that. My channel. I'm not. Cat. Oh my goodness, this cat. She is like freaking out right now. I know you're trying to find a comfortable place to lay, honey, but just like. Just calm down. No, I don't have sub button yet. I don't know. I have mixed feelings on anything other than just having my stream be up here and like free and just like a standard thing. Do not want or simply aren't there yet. I mean, like, it's mostly simply aren't there yet, but Like, I mean, it would be cool to expand the channel and like eventually have some income based off it, but that's not a goal of mine. Like, I do this because it's fun. I do it because it's fun, and I think it's cool to be able to share what I know about D&D and world building and stuff like that, and make that available to people. Um, and so like that's why I started doing it, and that's the intent. Because the thing is as cool as it would be to be able to have income as a streamer, the fact is I don't want to have to rely on that, because I think once you start having like money and rewards and stuff associated with it, it changes the nature of the stream, right? I like my stream being something that I'm 100% in control of, and that I don't have to worry about if what I'm doing is explicitly pleasing enough people to pay the bills, right? Like, it's more fun to me when I can just say like, hey, this is a cool thing I'm working on, come check it out if you agree, you know? Because like as soon as you start having subscribers and stuff, people will start expecting extras for that, right? And not necessarily in an entitled way, it's just that's how it works, you know? When people are subscribers, they start expecting to be able to get extra bonuses and stuff, and I don't want to feel obligated to provide that, right? Like, this is an entirely like it's entirely something that I'm doing just like for me to do this, and so I kind of want to keep it that way, if that makes sense. Just saying it's true and it's honest. So I encourage you to go along with the onboarding process if it offers itself to you. You can never pay any more attention to it after that. It's just another way to engage with the audience, I guess. I mean, I wouldn't say that I have any sort of like morality against it, but I just like I'm not gunning for it, you know? Like I got my job that pays the bills, and that's fine, and because that pays the bills, I'd rather just leave all this stuff totally free. And I think it can serve a purpose to be really helpful if the channel naturally on its own grows. Like if people just like keep discovering my channel and they're interested in it, and it just kind of keeps growing, and a demand for that kind of stuff naturally grows, then I'm willing to do it that way. But it's like at this stage, in the thing, when I've only got a handful of people watching and chatting at any given time, I just don't see how it would do anything other than make me look and feel conceited and delusional about what the channel is. I mean, let's be realistic here. I've only got like 100 and change followers. Like, I'm not I'm not PewDiePie over here, right? Like, I don't have like huge thousands and thousands of people watching me at any given time. So I just like the functionality of those things just don't feel like they're there. And so if it gets to a point where it's like it starts being functional to have those different tiers, subscribers, and all that kind of stuff, and start doing that just for the sake of the channel naturally got to there, then great, I'll do it then. But at this stage, it just feels, I don't know, it just doesn't feel like it has a place. It just doesn't feel like it has a place in this channel. This channel is just me doing stuff for fun and sharing good conversations with people who decide they want to stop by. And I think I'd prefer to keep it that way than try to force anything out of it, right? I don't want to bite off more than I can chew too soon. I don't want to try and force things out of this channel, because I feel like that would just set it up for failure. I think that would set me up for burnout if I am trying to do too much with it before I understand all of it, before I'm ready for it, before the channel can sustain all of it, right? Like I feel like that would be setting me up for having this thing run its course much sooner. So I appreciate that. Don't overthink it. Everything is optional. Well, and I think that's exactly what my stance is. Like, I'm trying to not overthink it. And for me, that comes from not trying to do too much right away. It's like I'm comfortable with where the stream is right now. Today's new thing is I'm trying to use a different stream program. I'm using OBS instead of the Twitch channel thing or whatever they call it. And you know what? That's a new thing there, and so I'm going to use that, and we'll just have that be our big change. And so it's like, I think you've nailed it exactly. Really, it's just like, from my perspective, doing too much would be overthinking. It would be thinking, trying to force more out of this than what it's capable and what I'm capable of providing. So it's just kind of like, yeah, I'm content with things as they are. So we'll just kind of cruise with that until it feels like the right time. that over anything else any time of day. It's nice. It's nice. I mean, when I first started, I had no idea about what the different ones offered, and it made sense to me at the time to be like, hey, I'm gonna try streaming on Twitch, and they've got their own software. That seems like it would make sense, so we'll just do that. But Twitch was it was struggling in a few of the things I was trying to do. So it's like, all right, well, we'll try using a different program, and it seems to be working. So here we are. But you know, that's my approach to expanding and growing and trying different things. It's just like when it really feels necessary and feels like I and the channel as its own entity are ready for it, then we'll expand to it. But I don't know. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. That's why I don't have subscribers or anything like that. But it's like, yeah, I don't know. It seems to be functioning well as it is right now. So why fix what isn't broken? You know, that's kind of my stance on it. It's kind of my stance on all that kind of stuff, all that stuffers and stuff there. I don't know, what kind of item am I gonna give these guys? I can't come up with anything. It's a good thing the stream's almost done. My brain is short circuiting. Let's see. Look at the way Streamlabs OBS. Some of the user friendly, easy to set up, limited in capabilities, original. A bit more complicated to set up properly, but once you've done it, it's way better results. Yeah, that was kind of the sense I was getting when I was looking through OBS and trying to figure out how it works. Is that it's hard. It was a bit harder for me to figure out how to get everything going here, and there's still a lot of stuff that I need to figure out and get going. It's not fully up to snuff there, but it's definitely a more powerful tool. And now that I understand more about streaming, I'm ready to start doing that. Right, like beforehand, when I didn't understand streaming, this would have been way too much for me to handle. Way too many things that are confusing. So much better now that I'm prepared for it. I appreciate it. I will keep you in mind if I ever need stuff. What are you doing, Cat? Are you gonna stand up here and just be more in the way? What are we doing? She's like, I don't know. I don't think. I'm just a cat. I know, honey. I wanna come up. I wanna at least think of this item before the stream ends. I don't know. I know my cat's little tail. It's like, there she is, little goober. There she is, her and her one eye. Say hi, cat. Oh, she's like, what are you doing? I know, honey. Are you gonna rub against my hands and like make me type wrong things now? Cat cam when I can afford a second cam. That's when. Yeah, she's a calico. She's a little cutie pie. She's a little cutie pie. And I saved her from a depressing life in a shelter. She had been in the shelter for like almost 2 years when I got her, because she's rather skittish, and so she would always run away from people when they came to visit. And also she only has one eye, so a lot of people would see her as like sort of quote-unquote damaged goods. And so it's always harder for like an injured cat to get adopted. But I thought there was potential there, and I was right, because she's a real sweetheart. She just took some work to get her to get her get her up there. But now she's run off and is gonna start. Looks like she's gonna start running laps around the apartment. So trying to find the right term. Spotted. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, yep. She's calico. That's the word we use for it. She's actually the second calico cat I've ever had. As a child, we had another calico, and I didn't set out for it that way. Apparently I just get along with calico cats really well. So, hold on. Oh boy, see, this is why I shouldn't move my camera. I got the ankle all messed up. Now it's just not sitting properly. And there we go. That's a bit better. Oh wait, hold on. Now it's off center. Ah boy, there it is. Oh, good enough. Whatever. I'll fuss with it later. Somebody adopted a blind cat last year, named Murr. Okay, fair enough. Completely fearless and reckless daredevil. That's fair. My cat is. I would not describe her as fearless. She's a spaz, and she runs around like she has both eyes, and occasionally runs into things because of it. The no depth perception. She doesn't jump on countertops, though. She's like the best behaved cat. She doesn't jump on countertops. And I know it's because she doesn't know how far to jump to get up there. Like, she can't tell how high it is because she's only got the one eye, so she's got no depth perception. And I know that because on the things that she will jump on, she has to like be able to like stand up on her back paws and like be able to peek over and see what's up there. Otherwise, she's not comfortable jumping up on things, so she never gets on countertops. It's absolutely wonderful. I have the cleanest countertops of any cat owner. It's so good. Let's see here. Still have not had any inspiration on what item to do. Let's see here. Oh no, pup. Oh, that's so sad. That's so sad. I'm sorry. That's such a sad story. Poor pup. They never really do quite conceptualize danger the way they should, do they? Oh, that's too bad. Oh, that's dark and twisted. That's a sad story. That's a sad story. Why are you bringing that crap in here? No, that's a real bummer. That's a real bummer. Let's see here. I still don't know what item to do. I don't know what I want to do. Got 10 minutes. I can't reasonably just say like, oh well, we'll do it next time. No, that's fair. I totally get it. It's very cathartic to share something, even if it's an old memory. It can be very cathartic to share that. So I totally understand. I'm just messing with you. I'm not actually upset about it. I appreciate that you feel comfortable enough in our chat here to share that story. So, let's see here. Item. I don't know. Like, freaking whatever. Okay. Yeah, we'll just go with some rope. I don't know. Lying. Let's see here. Let's do this. Okay, here we go. I got an idea. It's a really bad idea, but not all of them can be winners, right? Let's see here. Investigation. DC 11, so they have to look to find it. To find. Coiled and hung on the wall in the corner is a stretch is a coil of rope. It is approximately we'll say 30 feet long, and every foot or so, there is a giant's dental floss. That's that's fair. That'd be if it's a silk rope, right? Let's see. There's a knot tied. It appears that some explorer left some climbing rope here at one point in time, and left it. Let's see here. We'll say they left it and never came back to find it. Push broom giant's toothbrush. That's a good one. I'll post a picture of a character on the Discord. Absolutely. We've got sections for that. Find the right section. I think it's there's like the section called sharing is caring. You can put that kind of stuff. Let's see here. So yeah, absolutely. There's like there's all kinds of different ones. And if you're doing the sharing is caring one, that's where it's like anytime you guys want to share your homebrews, your artwork, anything like that, that's where it goes. Yeah, 100% you should do that. 110% you should do that. Absolutely. So it appears that some explorer left some climbing rope here at one point in time and developed a stutter and never came back to find it. And then we'll just do the functionality. If this rope is used for climbing, players can have advantage on checks. Boom. There we go. Climbing rope. I don't know. It's weird. I really like the push broom as a giant's toothbrush idea. I actually really like that one too. Unfortunately, because it's inside the wall, why would the giant's toothbrush end up inside the wall? Right? That's kind of where, and like I say, that's kind of where the fun part of doing it randomly, is a fun challenge to do, because suddenly it turns into a creative writing challenge. I have to come up with an item that would make sense not only for the dungeon at large, but also for that specific part of the dungeon for it to be in there. So there we go. I think we pulled it off. It's passable. It's not my best work, but only one thing ever can be my best work, right? Because if something new is my best work, then it replaces the other best work, and it's no longer my best work. So there we go. It's fine. This homebrew then applies to everyday creations, I guess. I don't know. I don't even remember how I got it set up. Just find it in there, and I'll get a notification, and I'll check it out. I don't know. Setting up the Discord was another example of me doing something where it was like I wasn't really setting out to do it, but people kept asking about it, so I was like, all right, well, I guess I'll figure out and learn how to set up a Discord. And I still barely understand how Discord works. It's a confusing, chaotic mess over there, but it functions, so there we go. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, just find where everyone it fits in, and it's fine. I don't really care. It's there to serve as a place for us to discuss, and even if things get disorganized in the process, that's fine. I don't care. I'm not doing any sort of like official things with it, like official giveaways. You have to message in this specific place. You know, I don't know. I barely understand how that place works. So find a place and plop it in there. And when I got some time, I'll check it out. Might actually have time tonight because it's a Wednesday. I don't normally stream on Wednesdays, but I was able to stay home rather than going into the office today. But Wednesday evenings are kind of one of my few evenings that are kind of off. I don't have to go to the gym or anything, and so I'll probably end up having time to actually go through and catch up on all that stuff. But okay, all right. I think through chatting and getting some stuff done, some stuff written, it is getting close to 1:30. So rather than starting in on any other stuff here, I think I'm going to call it a writing stream. I will be back. I'm going to do some gaming. I'm going to take myself, so I'm going to take a break, my usual 15 to 20 minute break, maybe a little bit longer of a break today, just so I can check, on all my work stuff, and make sure everything's good to go. I've been getting a lot of messages and emails about a lot of different small things, so nothing urgent, but stuff that may still need my attention. So I might take a bit of a longer break, but I will be back. I will be back to game. We are presently playing through American Truck Simulator because I needed... see, here we go. There's my work phone. All right, well, I'm going to have to take this. That causes the end of stream. Check out Discord if you want to. Check out YouTube if you want to. Otherwise, I will be back in like 15, 20 minutes. All right, bye, everyone.